Okay, so I really want to like try and do a somersault to start like a ninja roll, but I'm terrible at them, so bear with me. Here we go. I can't do it. I can't do it. Hey guys, it's Miranda, and today I am here to do my Paper Towns movie review. And guys, I have to say, I really loved it. Like, I went in with such high expectations because this is one of my favorite John Green books. I like it more than Fault in Our Stars. I just love the characters, love everything. I love the casting, I love what we were getting from the trailers. So I walked in so excited to see this movie. And as we all know, that can be dangerous because if you have really high expectations for a movie and then it's just like mediocre, it can feel even worse because you were expecting so much more. But Paper Towns, oh my gosh, I am so happy to report that it blew away my wildest dreams. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I'm going to end it there for you because I don't want to spoil anything, but there's no way I can talk about this movie without spoiling everything. So if you haven't seen the movie, just know that it was really good and you should definitely go see it. For now, you and me are going to say goodbye because I don't want to ruin the movie for you. So goodbye for now, non-spoilers. You have been warned. Are you still here? Okay, I'm spoiling it. I warned you. Anyway, let's talk about the casting for a second because the main qualm I had with Fault in Our Stars was that the actors, I felt like as good as they were playing them, to me it never ever felt like they became the characters. It always felt like I was watching Shailene and Ansel playing these characters and it felt like there was this like wall removed from the movie. Like I knew that I was watching a movie. Whereas Paper Towns, I had the complete opposite experience. These actors, they brought the characters to life for me. I felt like I was literally taking everything from the book and putting it up on a projector. As soon as they came on screen, all those things I knew about them just flew out the window and they became the characters. Cara especially, I was so impressed with her as Margot. Margot wasn't in the movie as much as I wanted, which makes sense because it's really Q's story, but still they really cut down on her night with Q. I mean, I thought it was going to be like 30 minutes. It felt more like 15, and that's being generous. Like maybe even 12 it could have been. So quick. But Cara was just the perfect Margot. I felt like even like in the really like happy scenes, she showcased this kind of sadness and this kind of like wanting to leave that we really didn't get in the books. Like through her emotions and through like her facial expressions and stuff like that, you could just tell that Margot was someone who was hurting. And I know a lot of people are upset about the fact that they kind of took away aspect of Margot in that there wasn't really a scene where they thought she had killed herself, and at the end she seemed actually very happy instead of kind of sad and alone like she was in the books. For me, I actually really enjoyed seeing Margot happy and comfortable at the end because I think it shows that there's hope for the Margos of the world, you know? The story obviously is about Q, and Q is someone who has his whole life planned out, and he's happy, he has friends, but Margot's someone who I think a lot of people can relate to in that maybe you don't know what you want to do with your life. The whole like normal college, job, kids, husband, wife thing isn't like really what you're feeling. You're kind of out of the box of normal society. Maybe you don't really have a lot of real friends like Margot realizes. And I think that at the end we see her so happy and so kind of fulfilled with where she's going and what she's doing with life and so comfortable and assured, and I think that's really important too. But with the spotlight kind of off Margot, it was really a story about Q and his friends, which I really enjoyed. My favorite thing I think about this that I didn't see in Fault in Our Stars and I didn't see in a lot of YA movies, the friendships felt so real and genuine. Like they talked to each other like I would talk to my friends. It wasn't like they were like these otherworldly, so sophisticated, so smart people. I mean, they sang the Pokemon song for goodness sakes, and I literally almost like peed my pants when they did that. I was like, this is beautiful, and I just loved everything about this movie, guys. The only like issue I have with it was the whole thing with Radar and Angela having their first time on the road trip. Because while I did love the inclusion of Angela on the road trip, I felt like she definitely should have been on the road trip in the book. I just felt like it felt forced. Like it felt like, oh, this is a teenage movie. We need to have some type of sex scene to actually make it a teenage movie. So then they just kind of threw it in there, and I felt like it was just awkward and misplaced, and we really didn't need it. The movie could have been just as good without that and just as kind of nostalgic and teenagey feeling without that. So I really just didn't like that because I feel like, does every teenage movie need to have sex? Because believe it or not, teenagers actually enjoy movies that don't have sex in them. It doesn't need to have sex to be a teenage movie. So that was my issue. I think a lot of people are upset too that there were a lot of changes with the book, but I loved all the changes that they made, honestly. Like I felt like Lacey and Q, I wasn't sure what I was picking up on there. If it was like friendship vibes or maybe it could become a little something more, but I just really love how they were written in more because they were kind of connected by Margot, but I feel like that scene when they were both in the bathtub talking and she was kind of having this breakdown, I almost feel like they could either be best friends or like she could be his new Margot when he said like no one can be the new Margot and she kind of looked at him like that. Like I feel like I was getting something there. It kind of downplayed Ben and Lacey too, like yes, she asked him to prom and stuff like that, so I felt like it wasn't as pronounced as it was in the books. So maybe Q and Lacey sometime in the future. I don't know. I loved Lacey in the book and I really loved her in the movie as well. The only thing I was upset about was that they didn't go to meet her at the end, that they left before, because one of the scenes I really enjoy in the book is when Lacey kind of confronts Margot and was like, I was your friend. Why do you keep like trying to make me out to be the bad person? And Margot realizes that she's wrong about this thing that she just assumed, and that's kind of like where you start to finally see that Margot can make mistakes, that Margot isn't this perfect girl, this miracle thing or whatever like that. So they kind of cut that out for, again, the sake of showing I think that Margot was happy. But I still wanted a scene where Lacey kind of stood up to her and was like, I was your best friend, why would you do this to me? Or even like if Q had just said like, oh, by the way, Lacey didn't know that Lacey was cheating on you, just something like that, so we know that Margot knows that Lacey was actually her friend. I would have liked that a lot. And then again, I've said this is my problem with the book. The story, it just doesn't have a happy ending. I think for Margot and Q together, like separately they both have happy endings, but together, and I'm a sucker for couple happy endings, so like I just would have loved if it ended with like you getting on the bus and then being like, why don't you just come back for one night, it's prom or whatever, and she's like, you know what, I'll do it, let's have a normal experience. And then she goes to prom and it would have been perfect because they could have showed up in just like jeans and sweatshirts in prom and everyone would have been like, oh my gosh, Margot's back and she looks like she's just been on an adventure, because I mean they're in prom where everyone's dressed up and then they're just in jeans and sweatshirts, and it would have been so cool, and then they could have just danced and had fun, and that's the shot that could have ended it. And I just wish that's how it ended, because it's not saying that Margot needs to stay, but I think it would have been a nice like roundabout for them, because Margot now made real friends, Q's with his friends. I think it would have been like a really good ending. So that's how I would have written it if I wrote the movie, but I didn't. John Green did, and John Green obviously wants Q and Margot to be apart, so thanks for that, John Green. Did love the end though, how Q was saying that people all had stories about where they had seen Margot and stuff like that, and he said that basically that's her story to tell, because I was like, please tell me this means sequel potential, please, because I've so wanted a Margot book for so long that like, oh my gosh, when he said that I was just like, don't tease me, Q, don't tell me this is just a throwaway line in the movie. I just really love the movie so much. I feel like it captured the essence of the book perfectly, so that's why I'm okay with most of the changes they made. And I feel like, again, Cara did such an amazing job as Margot, and that was one of the most important things to me. I loved her ninja roll when they were going into Becca's house. She just did like this perfect ninja roll, and then Q's just like, excuse me, and like throws in. I just think she captured such this like vulnerability of Margot, as cheesy as it sounds, that I completely loved, and it was just so cute, all her interactions with Q when they were dancing atop the sun tower and everything, and I'm absolutely 110% in love with this movie, and that is why my next thing is a rant, because guys, you let me down, you let John Green down, you let America down, because Paper Towns didn't even break in the top 5. It only made like $12.5 million. If you want Looking for Alaska, go see Paper Towns. Go spend the money, go buy 2 tickets. I mean, if you are a rich person, please go and sell out a theater so Paper Towns can make more money, because I really want this movie to do well. It was so good. It's honestly one of the best book-to-movie adaptations I've seen in my entire life, and especially one of the best YA book-to-adaptation movies I've seen ever. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, definitely please go do that. I loved all the characters. I loved them more than I loved them in the books. They were all just so perfect. I could go on for hours about this movie. So I think that about does it for this movie review. If you have seen the movie, please feel free to leave what you thought down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel down below to be told when I make more videos. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Ninja roll! Oh my gosh. Maybe next time I'll actually be able to do a ninja roll like Cara Delevingne. Oh my gosh, if I ever meet her, I'm gonna be like, Cara, teach me how to do that ninja roll now. Like, that's just gonna be it. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna learn how to do it, because I mean, not only was it like on a side, she went in the window. I can't stop talking about it. I'm just so impressed.